Let me say this, that my dear sister, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, it remains a progressive. She has her emotions, she has her sentiments, and she has her passion, valid as it were. Chamberlain, about this time last year, I was still pushing a presidential ticket, my race. I was still in the race. As at this time last year, we were mobilizing Nigerians. But there are realities, and sentiments and realities are two different situations. I want to say that we understand that we have a Leviathan, if you like, and a Behemoth, if you like. And then we have the APC and the PDP, if you like. But one thing is concrete, and you can't take it away from the PDP. It is the fact that at some point, the PDP admitted that it has erred in its leadership programmatic and went into self-re-evaluation, came out to Nigerians, apologized to Nigerians, and began to work democratic processes, which of course you saw in the primaries that led to the emergence of our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That's point number one. Point number two is that the PDP has done so well in that regeneration, such that the primaries at the local government level, at the state level, at the presidential level has been less riddled with less rancor. It was extremely peaceful, such that nobody's in court, and all the candidates who contested the primaries are together working with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That's point number two. Point number three is the fact that when you hear people talk about, Obi Ezekwesili was with the PDP government. She served under Obasanjo. Remember that in the first term of Obasanjo, there were programmatics that brought back this country from the seeming pariah status that it was under the military. And then don't forget the GSM revolution. Don't forget the debt payback. We paid off our debt under the PDP. Don't forget that, as it were, there was sizable privatization that led to the opening up of the telecom sector. And then don't forget, because I want to dwell precisely with the government that I fought against. Chamberlain, you remember that just about 4 years ago, I was DG of the Change Ambassadors of Nigeria. I supported the emergence of this government that is sizably an embarrassment in leadership. I was the DG of one of the campaign arms, and I canvassed the end of Jonathan's government. Unknown to me, and this is my apology once again to the Nigerian people, unknown to me, we're taking the Nigerian people to through a one-chance travel rather than change. I'll give you a practical instance. Under the Jonathan administration, 9 federal universities, regular federal universities were built. 3 specialized federal universities were built, 12. Under the PDP government, under Jonathan, the real system that they claim as the dividends of this failed presidency was established. You remember the Kaduna-Abuja rail. Under Jonathan, 36 medical centers federal medical centers were built across this country. Under Jonathan, we did not have this level of job loss. Under the past administration, we did not have blame games. And it was Mitt Romney, and I quote him, who said that leadership is about taking responsibility, not making excuses. And I say this without fear of querulous critics, that when the great poet Sir Walter Scott wrote, he said, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive." Every so often you hear the APC people talk, what they do is blame games. Nobody takes responsibility for any action. They tell you the time washed out and worn out cliche of 16 years of waste, when practically everybody in this government, apart from Mr. President and the Vice President, came from the PDP. And I want to say without equivocation that the bad eggs in the PDP have been sent over to the APC because they're desperate to win. They have gone in, they have taken Akpabio, they've taken all of them. You know them. The records are there. So if you want to ask which of the 2 major parties is the most corrupt, it is simply the APC. And I want to say without equivocation that saints do not play politics. I am not here to talk about who messed up Nigeria, because at some point, almost all those people who are today saying that the PDP messed up were in the PDP, and they are today in the APC. What we must tell Nigerian people is that what we need is capacity and competency over blame games. What we need is a leadership with focus, not a leadership that blames. What we need is a programmatic policy for economic revival, not pandering and propagandering. I think that that's exactly what we owe the Nigerian people. And that is to the extent that I sympathize with my dear sister.
Let me still come in here. While you've been able to rail out some of the pluses, you would say, for your party. One thing that Obieze Kwesili has said is that there is a 20-year cycle, she says, of change. She mentioned in 1959, in 1979, in 1999, and in 2019, she says there's going to be another major change. And she also includes that it may not just be any of the APC or the PDP. Let me get your thoughts first, and then I can now get the response of Mr. Badmus.
I agree with her to the extent of the 20-year cycle. I agree absolutely. But here again, as the 20-year cycle comes, a party that only 4 years ago rode to power with under the Suentry Harmattan of public support and popular support is going to lose power in 2019. That is a programmatic dynamics of change. That is a programmatic dynamics of that 20-year cycle. We're talking about a party that has said, we erred, we have corrected our errors, and we want a new dynamics in leadership. We want to create jobs, we want to get Nigeria working again. And dynamically, there is no more resounding decimal in our political space than for the PDP to defeat mortally and fatally the APC, and that's in consonance with Obieze Kwesili's projections. I believe that come February 16th, Nigerians will elect competency and capacity over failure. Nigerians will elect
the part of the conversation that Mrs. Obieze Kwesili has started is #APC-PDP. In other words, there is no difference between the two. APC is PDP, PDP is APC. Because, I mean, we look at it, practically, there are members of APC who are in the PDP, members of PDP who are in the APC. As a matter of fact, between 1999 and now, within the past 4 years, we have had members of APC who have moved into PDP and back. And there are members of PDP who have moved into APC and back. So many Nigerians would actually believe, agree with her, that it is time for both parties to rest. Yeah, what's your take on that?
Mr. Badmus can go ahead.
Yes.
No, I don't agree. You see, man is a product of the environment in which he developed. The APC as a party have the right environment to really shed off the gap of corruption of people coming from the other party. What do I mean by check up the gap? It is when you present enabling environment for corruption to thrive. That is when people are able to do corrupt practices. I want to tell you that those elements from PDP that join APC now is because they have enormous, thriving environment for corruption. You have a president who is saying that stealing is not corruption. You have a president who is saying that you should keep your yam away from the sheep, not to eat it. That is the body language of the president of them. That is the body language of the PDP leadership for 16 years. And that is why those people were able to thrive in their corruption act. And I want to say that presently you have a president who is saying that anybody, any member of his campaign committee that take government fund to fund any election, program is going to be dismissed. With such body language, you know that this is a street person, and you know that it's a different ball game from what you have been doing before. So in essence, I'm saying that the scenario people find themselves while they were in PDP is an environment of chaos. It's an environment of fraud. It's an environment of corruption. It's an environment of stealing his business, stealing his usual. That is the environment they were in PDP. But upon coming to APC, they have a new rule and regulation. It's just like in Nigeria now. You might say you want to cross the road, you want to break traffic lights, nobody will pick you. But you travel out, man, just to America or to any European country where law prevails. Crossing the road, the marshal, everybody will trap you and you get caught. In that vein, you will know that you will not do the hard, which you are doing in your former environment, in the new environment. Then talking about the cyclical change of Obieze Kwesili, I think it is instructive and it is philosophical that the 20-year gap that she's talking about, 2019 have actually come, and it is highly, very spiritual that 2019 fall within a frame of 20 years. She's just saying that all the people that have ruled this country in the past will be buried permanently.
Let's do this in 2 minutes. Let's do this in 2 minutes, so both of you to respond. I know that the PDP had accused the APC of INEC of working for the APC, but why do both of you think that Nigerians will actually vote your parties? Let me start with you again, Mr. Badmus, as well, quickly, so we can go to Mr. Nwonkobia.
Yeah. Nigerians will vote for our party because of the infrastructural turnaround done by President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigerians will vote our party because it's no longer business as usual. Nigerians will vote our party because all the loopholes, all the leakages in government have been covered up. Nigerians will vote our party because if you go northwest, south, and east, you find unprecedented completion of jobs that have been left by these shenanigans of many years. The group, they claim that they started this project. They started a railway, they started road construction, they started this. But could they admit that they started corruption? That is the question. Nigeria should expect a consolidated fight against corruption.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Nwonkobia. Go ahead quickly, Mr. Nwonkobia.
I want to say...
Yeah, but Mr. Badmus, just hang on. He needs to respond because we need to go in less than 60 seconds.
Let me say this. Chamberlain, Nigeria will vote the PDP because we must remove from the terrible job loss and unemployment that litters the APC government. 20.3 million Nigerians have lost jobs. Nigerians will vote the PDP simply because there is need to create jobs, there's need to get Nigeria working again. And above all, Chamberlain, at the Benin rally, Adams Oshiomhole shot the APC corruption fight dead when he said that they are inviting everybody who is corrupt to come join the APC because when you join the APC, your sins are forgiven. I think that the time has come for the Nigerian people to understand that beyond the propaganda and the sloganeering of the APC, we can't get this country working again. And you have a job creator who understands the dynamic of the business environment. And that's exactly what we're going to do with our country. And I'll tell you at my last shot that since just about 3 years before the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as the PDP flag bearer.
Okay, we need to go at that point. Chris Nwonkobia Jr., Director of Communication and Spokesperson, Suraki Vanguard. We also did have Olowale Badmus, who is a member of the Youth Mobilization Directorate of Buhari Campaign Council. Gentlemen, thank you for talking to us today on the program. So don't forget, you also heard the breaking news. Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili has dropped her presidential ambition. We'll bring you more on that as we have them. But we're back in just a moment, continuing on Sunrise Daily. Stay with us.